Hey, it's your guy. Can't see a thing outside. Can't touch grass because there's no snow. But let's just say I touched grass today. Well, transition to the spot where I tell you today's video. I want something else to get me through this. Please help the market of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah. Well, today we are talking about the opposite of the Yu-Gi-Oh video I did the other day. This is why Yu-Gi-Oh is so expensive. And well, it's a doozy. It's a doozy because partially everybody in the community is responsible for it, you know? But there's someone who is really at the top there. Because you see, I brought up something in the last video that very much pertains to this one. In the last video where I said we are making money off of Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, can't make out money off of Yu-Gi-Oh! Unless you're head-to-head battles and you're showing off the goods. Anywho, that's no way to dig. Or is it? But anywho, the trends in the OCG being the same thing as what's going on in the TCG. Well, when the OCG gets their stuff months ahead that we do in the TCG, the people in the TCG realize what's good in the OCG. And because we follow similar trends in the TCG as opposed to the OCG, well, Konami, because they looked at the litmus test of how well their products have been doing in the OCG, they're like, how do I make more money off of these Yu-Gi-Oh card players in the West there? Or, you know? Well, the answer is simple. Taking the most important cards of the set, rarity bumping them, and making the scarcity go up. And this has been something we have seen in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community for years. I'm by no means a professional Yu-Gi-Oh! Player at this point, but I am kind of competitive. I have competitive decks. Y'all know I have competitive decks, and y'all know I have the competitive capabilities. If you've seen my Yu-Gi-Oh! Content on here, you know I'm pretty mint buds, but, it really is an expensive game, and unless you're okay with buying some of the cards that are expensive, like, for instance, sometimes you have to be. I was looking for so long for a copy of Yubel. And Yubel had been sold out on TCG Player for a little bit, as well as many other sites. And the only copy I could find that I could trust was locally. There was an almost $50 copy of a Seeker Rare Yubel. Now, I'm not one to rarity bump. I don't even give a shit about rarity bumps, except for when they look pretty. Like, if it's a pretty enough card, I will go for it. But that is just me admitting the shiny cardboard tax. And which Konami really capitalizes on. But you won't see me spending $130 on a single Yu-Gi-Oh card. Most I will ever spend on a single Yu-Gi-Oh card is $50. $50 to $60. I won't buy anything more expensive than that because what I don't need to. Yeah. Sure. Like a lot of these cards aren't even that good. Like SP Little Knight is so easy to get over. You know how easy all of this stuff is to get over? Bonfire. Just chain Mistake to Bonfire. We've had Mistake for years. Mistake is our pocket, like our extra droll in Lockbird. Everybody forgets Mistake exists. And they're kind of unironically making a mistake because forgetting Mistake exists. What other things exist? Oh, hand traps? Oh. Mind Drain. Mind Drain has been an easy to obtain card. Now you're probably thinking, Devin, you're just explaining a whole bunch of floodgates in Yu-Gi-Oh. And the answer is yes, I am. But what I'm also explaining is that people are overhyping cards that aren't even that good. Like the Dia Bellstar engine, yeah, that's got some substance behind it. The Horse engine most certainly has substance behind it. But when Kashtira Fenrir is a rare that gets bumped to an ultra and it becomes an expensive ultra for its lifespan, like it got way too expensive at one point, but I was happy to get it at the low end. The only Kashtira Fenrir I got at the high end was, wow, my eyes are so pretty right now. But freaking I got the ultimate rare Kashtira Fenrir because my best friend got him, and you know what? I would love to buy that good card off of my best friend for $50 because it helped my best friend with $50. I don't mind. There was a kind of little extra gain from getting that card, and plus it's a pretty piece of cardboard. It still is a pretty piece of cardboard. It's my main deck at this point. Kashtira Gate Guardians Invoked. Y'all already know this. Which reminds me, the video is coming soon for the deck profile. I got like so many deck profiles going on soon. It's gonna be insane, fellas. Maybe y'all get inspired and do some stuff yourself. Maybe you make some interesting tech choices yourself, and hopefully they will inspire you to think, maybe I need to get creative myself. My one friend who also does YouTube, Cracked Ideas, said that it's basically chess when everybody's net decking, and I kind of agree with that sentiment. Net decking is pretty boring. Sure, it's like what's tried and true and what wins. But at this point in Yu-Gi-Oh, where literally there are several decks in the meta that are topping, yet still being net decked, it still kind of gets a little boring. You know what I mean? Because the only sort of variety is like 3 things are switched, and this is by no means me bitching about it. Especially when I can make a deck right now with 3 Upstart Goblins and 3 Allure of Darkness and 3 Necrofaces. You guys don't even know what I'm talking about, but like when it comes, because this is just a sleeper card talking about Necroface. I'm going to make a video about Necroface and why it is one of my favorite cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Yes, Necroface, the level 4 secret rare from Gladiator's Assault, and several other sets because it has been reprinted a couple times. Necroface is the card. It really is. Now, to kind of end this whole rant thing, because this is just me kind of doing a short little rant on why Yu-Gi-Oh! Is expensive. But there is one more thing why Yu-Gi-Oh! Is expensive. And unfortunately, it has to do with economic inflation. Sure, a lot of people who are in the Yu-Gi-Tube community, they get money for this already. They get paid. They get paid. They don't have to like care about this extra stuff because they're just sitting there already buying the market out and buying cases at a time to open cases for YouTube content. Ironically, I like that content, even though it's kind of hurting. It's kind of hurting what's going on here. I always say buy singles. But yeah, when you have people getting paid to buy up their own product by the company itself, it's going to make a dent in the monetary system of Yu-Gi-Oh! Y'all are probably just sitting here and it's like, why is my divorced father telling me about card economics for the second time in a week? Well, that, and because I want to. Because I felt like it. It's just how life is. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is too expensive sometimes. I will admit. There's nothing we can do about it, really, except for adapt and overcome. Some of us who can't afford bonfires, we will find ways to not have to use bonfire. Think of the Herald of Creation days. Think of the Drytron days, fellas. Think of the Burning Abyss days. Think of the Shadal days. Think of the Teledad days. Everybody was still getting over Teledad, even though Dark-Armed Dragon was a $74 secret rare, and people were still somehow beating Teledad. Now I digress, people. Have a great day. I'm no longer showing off the goods, and I hope like, comment, subscribe, and y'all, I will give you more Yu-Gi-Oh! Content soon.